Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday from the Toybox edition. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Transformers Combiner Wars Legends class Protectobot Groove. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessory. And really the only accessory is the handy dandy instruction manual. Combiner Wars Protectobot Groove, ages 8 and up, and there's a nice line art drawing of the figure. And the illustrations on here are clear and easy to follow. And the one thing I like about, Combiner Wars is they kind of give you, from robot to vehicle and then from vehicle back to robot instead of you just having to figure it out on your own in reverse. So that's pretty cool. He also has a weapon mode or a part mode for Defensor, which I'm not really going to I'm not going to color it. I'm not going to cover it because I don't have the rest of the pieces, but you can see right here he becomes a chest piece for the Combiner Wars Defensor. And if you're interested in that, you can pause it right here and look at these instructions. And well, let me put it back a little further like that. Now you can pause it and look at the instructions and see how it transforms if you want to do that and you lost the instructions. And this is what the piece looks like when it's finished. And again, I'm not going to cover that because I don't have the rest of Defensor. In fact, I only have, I think, Hotspot's the only piece I've got. But for the most part, nice instructions, easy to follow, nicely illustrated. Now, here is Groove in his alt mode, and I have to say, like most motorcycles for this era of stuff, even this class or the core class, the motorcycles aren't the greatest. I guess if you wanted to, you could probably sit a Titan Master or Prime Master on there, but it's not really designed for that, I don't think, but it might work. So as far as the vehicle itself goes, you got some nice paint app here on the window, some gold paint app. I think this is a black paint app because it's pretty glossy. And then you've got this Autobot Tampo within the star, this red paint app here. And if I get any of the colors wrong, I do apologize. I'm colorblind, so please don't make fun of handicapped people. Then on this side, the Autobot star again. And, it's okay. He does have a kickstand, although it stays in that mode. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work. It leans over to the other side rather than, on the kickstand. So there is that. And it rolls okay. It's not the greatest roller, and not really the greatest motorcycle mode, if I'm being honest, but it's okay. And like most Legends class, especially during this era, they don't really, there's no real scale to them. It's just all over the place, like Transformers usually is, up until we hit the War for Cybertron trilogy, when they tried to kind of get everything in the same scale for the most part. I'm not going to say they got it right every single time, but for the most part they did try to keep them in scale with each other. So, well, that does it for a look at Groove in his motorcycle mode. It's time for alt mode comparisons. And here we have the Transformers Combiner Wars Legends Class Groove with the Transformers Legacy Core Class Iguanus and the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Crash Bar. For our final set of alt mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers Combiner Wars Legends Class Protectopod Groove with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Amazon exclusive Generation Selects Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comedy portion of our show where I attempt to transform this Transformer right here. And hopefully it won't be too bad, but we'll see. So I think first off, you want to take these parts and just move them up out of the way because it kind of sort of almost locks in right here. You can see, well, maybe you can see, there's just a little cavity in there, no tabs or anything like that. So then you want to take and separate this part. And I'm not gonna lie, you see all these posts and ports and stuff in the tires. You do kind of have to line it up properly, and it is a bit of a pain in the butt when you're transforming it into motorcycle mode. So then you want to flip the feet down, and they kind of lock into position. Then there's a hinge right here, and you move this part up, and then you can see its face right there. Ooh, look, its face. Then this piece right here flips down, and you can see there's Autobot Tampo right there, but this is the wrong place to be talking about that, isn't it? So that doesn't go back like that. You can see this is on a double hinge here and here. So you move this hinge back and then this hinge forward, and it sort of locks into place, kinda, almost. And there you have it, my friends. Groove, all transform. Let's take a look at Groove in his robot mode. And right up here, you know, there's not a lot of paint apps going on. I think the majority of this figure is molded in the correct color plastic, but you can see it looks like the head is painted black, or maybe they just use some shiny plastic for it, or maybe they just put a gloss over it. I don't know. And then you can see he's got a nice little paint app. It looks like a silver paint app for his goggles, visor, whatever you want to call it, and then some gold for the rest of his face, gold right here, and then some black here on the sides. And then you can see the Autobot Tampo right there, and it's super small. And then of course the Tampo, the Autobot stars there, and then these paint apps on the side, which I think are supposed to represent the police lights in bike mode. Now let's talk about his articulation. He can, if you can get your fingers in there, he can turn his head that far and about the same on the other side. It's really hard to get hold to. Then at the shoulder, he can raise his arm up that high because this really gets in the way, and then back about that far. He can put it out a little bit better than 90 degrees, and it's on a ball joint, so it will kind of spin around. Not 360 degrees though. And then there's another ball joint here at the wrist that will rotate 360 degrees and give you, we'll say, approximately 90 degrees worth of bend. Then nothing at the waist, at the hips. He can give you the full splits plus, it looks like. He can kick forward just under 90 degrees. This piece gets in the way. And then back approximately 90 degrees, it looks like. The hips are also on a ball joint, so you get a little, well, you get a little bit of twist, but also there's a cut here, surprisingly, on a mushroom peg at the high upper thigh. Excuse me. Now at the knee, there's a joint. It looks like it'll go forward, but it does not. And it will bend back. It looks like approximately 90 degrees. And then as far as the ankles go, really the only movement you have here is due to transformation. They will go forward that far. They will only go back straight up, and there is no rocker. Well, that, my friends, is a look at the figure and his articulation. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have the Transformers Combiner Wars Legends class Protectobot Groove with the Transformers Legacy Core class Iguanus and the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Crash Bar. For our final set of robot mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers Combiner Wars Legends class Protectobot Groove with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee and the Walmart exclusive Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Netflix Earthrise Leader class Optimus Prime. For final thoughts on the Transformers Combiner Wars Legends class Protectobot Groove, I have to say I kind of wish that I had gotten the rest of the Protectobots and been able to form Defensor, but the only other one I've got is Hotspot, and so no Defensor there. But in, looking back on it as well, I'm also glad that I didn't, because I really, other than Devastator, I really do not like the combiners of Combiner Wars and Power of the Primes, and even, was there one in Titans Returns? Maybe, I don't remember. But, the Earth Wars, Prime Wars trilogy combiners, I just don't think, other than Devastator, I think they got it about 75% there with that one. It did so. It does need 25% improvement, and maybe they'll do that with the Studio Series version of the Constructicons, but I kind of doubt it, because he's going to be around 12, 14 inches, something like that combined. So little on the short side, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. We'll just have to see what happens as they release those. But, back to this figure, it is what it is. If I hadn't found this thing on sale, and I think it was on Amazon for like $3 or something like that, it was insanely cheap, I probably would not have picked it up. because it's very the robot mode isn't great. The motorcycle mode isn't great. Let's face it. The only reason to really get this guy is to, you know, that final chest piece of Defensor, and then that's really it. The sculpt isn't super. The deco is okay. I like the deco. But, you know, other than that, it's just, I guess it is what it is, and it's not very good what it is, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary, but that's just me. And, you know, again, like I said, I would not have purchased this if it wasn't insanely cheap. But it was, and I did, and here it is. You're welcome. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.